In 1784, the Illuminati were exposed by the Bavarian government, who issued an edict forbidding all secret societies. They seized documents which exposed the workings of the order and became convinced that they were planning to take over the world by way of revolution. So concerned were they issued an official document to the governments of Europe called the Original Writings of the Order of the Illuminati. Sadly, the powers of Europe did not take the warning or the Illuminati seriously. In 1790, the famed occultist and magician Cagliostro was arrested by the Inquisition in Rome. He told them that he had been initiated into the Illuminati in 1783 and was shown a book which stated that Illuminism was a conspiracy directed against thrones and altars, and that the first blows were to attain France.
The first Illuminist overthrow of a nation was the French Revolution.
Most of us in our world history classes were pretty much taught that the French Revolution was glorious and that the French monarchy was terrible, and so the public finally rose up and broke into the Bastille and took the guns and went out and had a revolution and kicked out the monarchs. That's what we grow up with, but that's not the fact of the matter.
A group of radicals surfaced in France known as the Jacobin clubs that were organized under the direct inspiration of the Bavarian Illuminati. In 1793, Alois Hoffmann, the editor of the Vienna Journal, wrote, "I shall never cease to repeat that the French Revolution has come from Masonry and the Illuminati." The Jacobins vowed to destroy the monarchy and sought to establish what they called a new world order.
The French government was the most liberal in all of Europe, was the least likely to be in need of a revolution.
In 1789, an artificial shortage of grain was created by Illuminist manipulations of the grain market. This produced a famine so intense that it brought the nation to the edge of revolt. The conspirators held up the food supplies and blocked all reforms in the National Assembly to exacerbate the situation, and the populace starved. With the Jacobin propaganda, the people blamed the monarchy, King Louis XVI, and his queen, Marie Antoinette. Antoinette is famous for having said, "Let them eat cake," in response to the starvation of the people. But modern researchers expose the phrase was set down earlier by philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau in 1766, while Marie Antoinette was only 10 years old. As one source writes, the saying was attributed to Marie Antoinette in 1789 by radical agitators who were trying to turn the populace against her. As a result of such lies and propaganda, King Louis XVI and his queen were overthrown and murdered on behalf of the revolution. King Louis seems to have been a more compassionate ruler than historians often credit him for. When the revolutionaries broke into the royal palace, his Swiss guard was slain because they were ordered not to fire upon the people. At his execution, Louis said, "I pardon those who have occasioned my death, and I pray to God that the blood you are going to shed may never be visited on France." The Bible says concerning governing authorities, "There is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation." While pretending to fight for the rights of the people, the Jacobins with their satanic agenda became more bloody and tyrannical than most monarchies have ever been. Terror was rampant in the streets of Paris. The full horror of government by Satanism was being played out, complete with human butcherings and cannibalism. During the Reign of Terror, approximately 18,000 citizens were sent to the guillotine, and many more died in prison without being formally brought to trial. Adam Weishaupt sent his hand-picked representative into Paris, a man named Anacharsis Cloots. Cloots arrogantly claimed to be the orator of mankind and called himself the personal enemy of Jesus Christ. He then set about to remove all traces of Christianity from France. He even abolished Sunday and attempted to create his own calendar. But perhaps the most ghastly and horrific element of the French Revolution was a program that would set a pattern for wicked governments ever after. In 1793, the revolutionary leaders embarked upon a fearful new project called depopulation.
They attempted to reduce the population of France, which at the time was 25 million. They decided they were going to reduce that down to 16 million. Why? Because there was high unemployment as a result of the French Revolution. So their answer to unemployment was kill about 9 million people.
The Jacobins toiled over maps and selected in each region the number of citizens to be murdered. In Nantes, 500 children were killed in one butchery, and 144 poor women who sewed shirts for the army were thrown into the river. Stone quarries were a favorite site for mass extermination, and it was said that many quarry operators had to shut down due to the piles of bodies. While the depopulation program failed to achieve its goal of slaughtering 9 to 17 million people, the death toll taken at the time records about 300,000 murdered. More than a century later, Adolf Hitler would refer to his Nazi movement as the exact counterpart of the French Revolution. Dr. Brzezinski, the former National Security Advisor in 1993, estimated that in the 20th century, 167 to 175 million lives were deliberately extinguished by politically motivated carnage. Many have come to believe that such carnage began with the Jacobin depopulation program. In time, the Jacobins desired to foment a second revolution in America.
They wanted to bring the French Revolution over to America, which was after the American Revolution. But the American Revolution didn't turn out the way the French Revolution did. Christianity remained very strong and a strong part of the new American government, where religion was eliminated in France by the French Revolution. So the French didn't like that. They wanted to come and have re-revolution in America.
In 1785, the Columbian Lodge of the Order of the Illuminati was established in New York City. Oddly enough, the Illuminati were supported by some Americans, most notably Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson publicly defended Adam Weishaupt and attacked those who wrote exposures of the Illuminati. Alexander Hamilton, the Secretary of the Treasury, charged that Jefferson had helped to foment the French Revolution, while the Reverend Jedediah Morse, the father of Samuel B. Morse, who invented the telegraph, declared that Jefferson was an Illuminatus.